All right, today we're diving into a really fascinating new piece of research in the world of Alzheimer's. It's a discovery that just might give us a whole new way to think about and maybe even attack this incredibly tough disease. For so long, the fight against Alzheimer's has felt like this giant, complex puzzle. And for decades, the search for a cure has been guided, maybe even dominated, by one single theory.
And we have to remember, this isn't some abstract scientific problem. We are talking about 32 million people around the globe. That number is just staggering, and it makes finding a real, effective treatment one of the most urgent missions in medicine today.
So, to tackle this massive problem, science has been laser-focused on one prime suspect. But what happens when the treatments that go after that suspect don't really move the needle? Well, it forces you to step back and ask a tough question. Have we been looking at the whole picture? The number one culprit on the list for years has been these things called beta amyloid plaques. The central idea, what they call the amyloid hypothesis, is pretty straightforward. These sticky, toxic clumps of protein build up in the brain, they kill off brain cells, and that's what causes the memory loss. So the solution seemed logical, right? Just get rid of the plaques. But now, new research is giving us a totally different perspective. It's a tiny clue hidden away at the protein level that suggests there is way more going on than just the plaques themselves. A team over at the Icahn School of Medicine at Mount Sinai just published a study that points to a brand new player in this whole drama, a protein called plexin B1. So what in the world is plexin B1? Well, the best way to think about it is like a rogue stop sign. It attaches itself to the brain's own cleanup crew and basically tells them to stop what they're doing, which prevents them from clearing out all those amyloid plaques. And who is this cleanup crew? They're these amazing cells called astrocytes. They're a type of support cell. And a huge part of their job is to act like janitors, keeping the brain tidy by clearing out all the debris, including the very plaques we're talking about. So here's how the researchers saw it play out in mouse models of Alzheimer's. First, the plaques build up. Then, plexin B1 activates and puts up that stop sign on the astrocytes, blocking them. But, and this is the incredible part, when the scientists genetically removed plexin B1, the astrocytes got the green light again. They went right back to work and started clearing away the plaques. As you can imagine, the authors of the study were pretty optimistic. For them, this finding totally shifts the focus. It's not just about the junk, the plaques. It's about the complex conversation happening between the different cells in the brain. The real key might be figuring out how to get them cooperating again. This discovery lands smack in the middle of a huge, ongoing debate in Alzheimer's research. It's an exciting finding for sure, but it also brings up this massive question. Is getting rid of amyloid plaques even the right goal in the first place? You really have two sides here. On one side, there's a lot of hope. Experts like neuropsychologist Dr. Karen Sullivan see this as a new way to help the brain's support system reduce inflammation and protect neurons. But on the other side, there's some serious skepticism. Neurologist Dr. Clifford Siegel points out that we've developed powerful plaque-clearing drugs, but for actual patients, the benefits have been, well, pretty underwhelming. And Dr. Siegel's point is a powerful one because it comes directly from the clinic. He's saying that doctors on the front lines are becoming less and less sold on the whole amyloid hypothesis, simply because the drugs designed to fight it just aren't producing big results. And here's the real head-scratcher, the reason for all that skepticism. Neurologists like Dr. Siegel see patients every single day who just don't fit the theory. They see people whose brains are loaded with amyloid plaques, but they have zero memory problems. And then they see others with severe dementia, but very few plaques. This clinical reality really messes with that simple plaque causes dementia story. Okay, so where does that leave us? I mean, how can this new research be so important if the very idea of clearing plaques is being questioned? Well, this is where the story takes a really interesting turn. It kind of forces us to think differently. If just wiping out plaques isn't the magic bullet we hoped for, then what is the real potential of this new discovery about plexin B1? And here comes the twist. The skeptic, Dr. Siegel, is actually excited about this new research. How can that be? It's not because it clears plaques. It's because it targets the brain's support cells, the glia. He's basically saying, I want to see if helping these cells work better can improve memory completely separate from what happens with the amyloid. And that is the absolute key takeaway here. The real game changer might not be finding yet another way to scrub plaques from the brain. It might be about discovering how to empower the brain's own support crew to boost its natural resilience so it can protect and maintain itself. So this new clue leaves us with a really profound and honestly hopeful question. Maybe the path forward isn't just about fighting a disease. Maybe it's about understanding and unlocking the brain's own incredible power to support and even heal itself. And if that's true, well, that could change everything.